So I got my coffee. Thank you, Mr. Meyer. I've never had the Meyer Cheers buy me coffee before. I've never had the Meyer in my car. So yeah, it's a double whammy for me.
It's good to be with you.
Thank you. But we were talking about social media, and
so I want to get back to this idea of social media not being reality.
yes.
The other thing that I often find, I get a lot of abuse on social media.
Oh yes,
Cedric,
yes.
from residents, random people around the country, everyone.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I find is that often when you meet these people and you say, oh, your handle is at ABC on social media.
Wow.
And I think, wow, this guy's been so rude.
Oh no,
but he's not like that.
Mr.
in
Meyer,
real
you
life.
are now a social media content creator, because that happens on a daily. It's like dogs barking behind a gate. Now, I'm not challenging anybody to take the hate that they have on social media and bring it into reality, but I am recognizing that is when people face you face to face.
Yeah.
They're a different animal.
And I just feel like people should try to be more themselves as they would be in real life.
Yes.
When they interact on social media, because it would be a lot more respectful and kind instead of all
100%.
this abusive behavior.
Yes, but it's like the concept. It's like the concept of policing, right? Or speed limits. I mean, we were just talking about driving the speed limit, right?
Yeah.
And I always ask myself, if there wasn't a board saying I have to go 60, how fast would I be going? So I think
I would go 60 anyway.
Oh, is it?
Because I'm
you're the mayor.
law-abiding
Oh,
citizen.
100%. No, me too. Me too. But the reality is that people in social media land, or whatever you want to call it, they feel that there's an anonymity. There's a level that they are removed from you, and that means that they feel there's no consequences. A lot of people, you have to manage them with consequences for them to stay in line.
100%.
So
I always say, and I'll say to everyone watching, if you, we're helping everyone feel better this morning. Cedric and I, if you ever want to feel better about yourself, go onto my Facebook page for half an hour.
Yeah.
And you will feel so much better about yourself.
Yeah. Yes, your life is not so bad. I mean, look at how they abuse this guy.
But
I mean, you get it much worse than me. I mean, I get some.
Course.
But
and a lot of it is understandable. I get it, because if there's a burst water pipe and the city hasn't been there for 4 or 6 hours yet, and you haven't got an answer, I get it. Like you want to bath your kids.
Yes.
So I always try and put myself in the shoes of the person that's complaining.
But is it necessary for you to say that you hope that monsters come out from under his bed and eat his children? That's not necessary, guys.
But the other thing, so that will help you feel better about yourself. But the other important thing, and this goes to what you and I were discussing at home, is, how do I put this? You got to get your sense of purpose and self-worth from a different place.
100%.
If you're getting it there, you're going to be destroyed in 5 minutes.
Oh, for sure.
So where do you get your sense of inner self-worth and purpose?
Oh wow, that's
a
easy.
deep question.
100%, but I've pondered it over and over. I was made for this question. I was waiting. But seriously, my titles in life gives me my purpose and direction. I'm a husband. Yeah. I'm a father. And I'm a Christian.
Come on.
And those are the things that guide me. I'm also a salesperson. I'm a content creator. So those little titles give you your purpose and it gives you your direction. It becomes your mission statement. Just like a company's mission and vision, you have to adopt that for yourself. So I can never remove myself from the fact that I'm a husband. I can never remove myself from the fact that I'm a father. And definitely I can't remove myself from the fact that I'm a Christian. And those are the things that guide me.
So I share those same 3 titles: husband, father, and Christian. And I would add to that friend, because I find that if my group of friends, they've been with me since we started in Friday night youth group together. We used to call it Exodus.
Okay. Wow.
And
you also come from a Pentecostal background.
Correct.
Yeah, I can relate.
Yeah,
I can relate.
So we've been friends for more than 20 years, and so they're not one of them is involved in politics.
Okay.
And I've always said that so long as I have the love and the mutual support of
Yeah.
my wife, my daughter, my parents,
Yes.
and my friend group.
Yeah.
I really,
There's
I
no
can focus on what I want to
100%.
achieve, but I don't need to take seriously.
Oh, 100%. There's
All the
no
abuse,
commentator.
yeah.
There's no person that can make me doubt myself. It's like, if your mommy say you a cute boy, no one else can tell you you're not a cute boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think if you're going to build off what people think and say about you, you're going to be in a bad place.
Correct.
Yeah.
You got to have something inside.
Yeah,
That
no,
drives you.
100%, and
drives
that
you.
becomes your foundation, your rock, as it may. So yeah,
So just carrying on the theme on social media, sometimes I wonder about young people today. I spend a lot of time in schools, Uncle
Yeah,
Cedric,
yeah.
at least once a week. Okay, maybe not every week, but a couple of weeks a month. I go to schools in Cape Town,
okay,
and I usually talk about our anti-litter campaign that we have running in the city called Bin It in the Bingo.
Okay.
The green bins that you see
yeah.
everywhere.
So we had something similar in my generation. Put it in the ZB block.
Zap it in the ZB.
ZB block in the
Now you
Zap
know
in
that
the
I
ZB.
tried to get Zap It in the ZB back.
You're lying.
I promise you.
That would have
because
been awesome.
It would have been awesome, but there's someone that bought the rights to Zap It in the ZB and then emigrated to Australia with those rights.
Wow.
So now I'm not allowed to use Zap It in the ZB. Can you believe that?
Hashtag bring back Zap It to the ZB.
If you know that guy in Australia, tell him to call me. I want ZB back.
Yes.
Anyway, so we've got Bin
That
It in
would
the
be
Bingo.
awesome. Okay.
Bin It in the Bingo. And so I go to schools and I talk about this. But one of the questions I always ask to kids, from primary school kids all the way high school kids,
Yeah.
I say, how do you engage with information in your world?
Yes.
I remember when I was growing up, it was like a tradition that you watch the evening news.
Yes.
You would
8 o'clock on the nose.
you sit down as a family, you watch the evening news. No one does that anymore.
No.
No one.
No.
I'm not even sure if the evening news is still on.
Yeah.
So,
And you have places like Netflix, Prime. Those people don't have news segments.
yeah.
It's watch on demand.
So one of the things that the standard answer that I always get now is that young people do not engage with any traditional media sources. They
100%.
only engage with TikTok and Instagram, mainly for younger kids, and
Yeah.
Facebook for slightly older kids.
Yeah.
So it brings up a whole lot of questions about how young people get accurate information about what's going on in their world.
With the
and
focus on
society.
accurate.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
So as a content creator, how do we navigate that difficulty between, of course, we want entertaining content, but we also want kids that have an understanding of what's going on in the world around them,
Yeah.
and how their role in making that better.
I think what you need is, one, you need to create that content so that they can access it, and you need to bring the content on their level. So nobody's going to. If you're 18 years old, you're definitely not going to want to get news from an adult, because you're already not even listening to your parents. So because you started to grow into your own. So
Truth bombs. You see
yeah,
truth
so
bombs.
I would say is you need to start giving news. One, on the platform where they're going to look for the news, which is TikTok, and two, from people that they trust. And unfortunately, the world is moving away from, oh, he's wearing a suit and a tie, we can trust him, to he's wearing a suit and a tie, we can't trust him. So,
Oh, you see now. I don't like wearing suits and ties just because I hate them. But
Yeah.
now you've given me a good reason not
not
to
to
wear them.
yeah, 100%. It was the suits that messed it up.
It was-
I mean, there's already a distrust, for the adults and the politicians that's out there. Because if you look at the average age of politicians, it's two
Yeah.
generations ahead,
Or three.
or even three. And I mean, those are the people that messed up the world, the environment, or that's the feeling.
Right
and the
now-
youngsters, they lost trust.
Right now, we've got a candidate running in South Africa who used to be the president. We're not going to mention any names.
Yeah.
But
I'm not gonna mention his name, Zuma.
yeah, he was always drawn by Sapiro with a shower on his kop.
Yes.
And
Starts with a Z, ends with a Uma. You didn't say
and
it.
he is in his 80s now.
He's in his 80s.
Yeah. Then the candidate who's running for a short time the
Yeah.
biggest party,
Yeah.
starts with an R and ends with an Amaphosa.
Yeah.
He is in his late 70s.
Oh.
So it's like 3 generations.
Yes. What is weird though is if they were in the workforce, they would be retired.
Forced retirement. 63, 65, you gone.
Yeah. So how do you trust these people to make decisions when, I mean, they can't even chew a steak properly? I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah, that's rude.
No, it's a fact. No, I'm just saying,
they're liquidizing their steaks.
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean
They've got steak.
This is a guy that
steak smoothies.
100%. So, listen, I'm 42. I'm turning 43 this year.
But you would never say so.
Thank you. I look 50, eh? but
53.
But seriously, at my age, I'm losing touch. I'm gravitating towards I don't know what is the new brands, I don't know what is the fresh slogans. I'm effectively losing touch with the people. If I was in politics, I would already be out of touch.
Do you know who watches your videos?
Yes, the demographic, it is actually 18
it is,
to 65. I've got a very broad,
so you're still in touch with teenagers a little bit.
Kind of.
Well, I just met your son. He seems like such a cool guy.
He is a cool guy.
How old is he?
No, he's 18. He's turning 19 this year.
Just matriculated.
Yeah, very cool guy.
So he keeps you in touch with that generation.
I would say my 7-year-old keeps me in touch because my conversation with my son.
You're such a youngster. So I've got an 8-year-old.
Okay.
So we had similar phases.
Yes. I've got a 14-year-old. He's playing rugby today, and then I've got Zach, who's my youngest. He's in grade 2.
It's Zach. I presume that's Zachariah, huh?
Zachary, yeah.
Zachary,
Ethan,
got Isaiah, and Ethan. Okay, good.
Yes.
Lovely names.
Yeah, Ethan is what a lot of people don't know is Ethan is also a biblical name. Ethan is in the Bible.
Is that so?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that. Do you know where?
It's in the Old Testament.
Okay. Because it's like
funny how Ethan got his name. Funny story. I was a sales rep at the time, and I needed to do an urgent delivery in Hermanus, and the owner's mom, Ethan's mom gave birth, and I was there, and I held him, and I blessed him, and I had to go. That's how urgent it was. They couldn't give me time off, and I told her don't name him yet. But when I came back, and I wanted to say I'm gonna give you your name now, she says his name is Ethan, and that's how he got his name. So he's my only son I didn't name.
But was he named after Ethan Hawke, or was he named after the biblical Ethan?
I don't know. I think I hope it's the biblical one. But yeah, funny story.
Yeah. So tell me, you've got a long commute every morning. We on the N1 now together.
Yes.
There's a nice board there that says drive carefully. Not much traffic today.
Yeah.
What is your morning commute? What time do you leave home?
I leave anything between 5 past and 6:15.
Okay.
To get to work at about 7:30. I work in Pardon Island, so it's about an hour and a half drive in the morning and an hour and a half back.
It's a lot of traffic.
It's a lot of traffic, yeah. It's a lot of traffic, and I can tell you, I don't blame the DA for the traffic.
Well, the biggest reason for traffic in Cape Town is the fact that the train system doesn't work.
Correct.
That's actually the biggest cause of traffic in South Africa. In Cape Town alone, you might not know this, it's an extraordinary number. In Cape Town alone, there used to be 900,000 people that used the train every single day that cannot use it at the moment.
So basically almost the entire population of Mitchell's Plain and Bonteheuwel put together.
Correct.
Yeah.
Is on the roads because of the fact that the train system was destroyed.
Yeah.
And that's why we have been pushing so hard to get the train system handed over to the city.
Yes.
And
so the train system does not belong to the city.
The train system is completely run by an organization called PRASA.
Yeah.
Passenger Rail Agency of South Africa. It's a state-owned company like Eskom, like SAA, and you know what happens to the post office.
Yeah.
I can go
I actually looked at our post office the other day.
Yeah.
And it's a mess. It's a mess.
The post office recently closed. I don't want to get the number wrong now, but like 80% of their branches around the country are closed.
And there will be 50 people that will fact check that now in the comment section.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So if it's 75% of branches, you can correct me in the comment section. But they closed a huge number of their branches and laid off, many. Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Laid off many of their staff. and so the post office is not working either.
Yes.
But just to finish the thought on trains, that is why we've got to get trains handed over to cities. And by the way, this is not just about Cape Town. I really think that Joburg should run the trains in their city, that Durban should run the trains in their city, because every major city in the world runs its own trains.
Yes.
There's very, very few places like South Africa where you've got a huge country. It's not a tiny country. We've got 60 plus million people, and we've got this big, huge, ineffective, failed train company.
I'm in logistics, right? And
there you go.
And I am constantly hearing about how our ports are a bottleneck for our economy, and even the rail infrastructure that's taking a knock in that sector. And I was talking about in our live. I was talking about when somebody is sitting at the reception desk and there's a draft, and you ask that person, how can we better the company? That person is going to say everybody needs to get jerseys because it's cold. So you talk from the point of view of what's your reality, right? And for me, that is in logistics. And this might sound to the layman in the street, they're going to go, no man, that's not even an issue. We should be getting more cops on the street. If I must say, guys, we need to work on the efficiencies of our ports.
True.
Because do you realize how that is the bottleneck in our economy? For me, that's a reality.
It's massive.
It's crazy.
So the port that we can see, we can actually see it right there, is the third worst performing port in the world, Cedric.
From an efficiency point of view.
From an efficiency point of view.
Yeah.
It is second last, Cape Town Harbour.
Wow.
And Durban is just 2 above that. It's the 5th worst in the world.
Yeah.
So we
and
have
for
got,
a very long time, Durban was the biggest port in Africa.
It's now been overtaken.
It's been overtaken, yeah.
By a port in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So what people don't understand, you're absolutely right. The port supports. There's probably only about 1,000, 2,000 people that work at the port itself.
Yeah.
But it supports tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of jobs out here in the city, everywhere.
Yeah.
And when it doesn't work well, all of those businesses.
It's a knock-on effect.
Massive.
And that's the thing. That's what I say is in my one video where I said I don't need to like you to know that you can do the job. Is I'm effectively trusting the people in power to have even the ports in mind. So yes, I'm worried about this block drain in my road, and I'm worried about this and that, and I'm not saying that's not an issue, but there are so many balls in the air that you need to juggle, and a lot of people on the street don't realize that. They don't realize that congestion in the port has got such a big knock-on effect on the economy, and you will only know it if you are in the industry. So
100% right.
Yeah.
So there's lots of problems in our country, but we're coming up to this amazing election.
Yes.
You said you're 44.
43.
43.
Yeah.
Sorry, got that wrong.
Fine, I get that a lot. It's the grey.
So, in all of your 43 years, South Africa has only ever been governed by 2 parties. And both of them had a supermajority.
Yeah.
Until they all of a sudden didn't.
Yeah.
And for me, that's quite interesting because as a younger South African, I have only ever lived in a South Africa governed by one political party. And it's amazing to me that it's almost like mind-blowing that we are finally at the point where that political party might just lose and never dominate an election again.
100%.
Because of course, let's remove ourselves from the political parties concerned. It doesn't matter what their names are. It's not good for a democracy to ever only be governed by one party.
Because what's the definition of a dictatorship?
Correct. But also, what's the definition of a democracy? Democracy is a place where you
should have constant change of power, actually.
You should have competition. Always competition.
Always competition.
Just like a business.
Yeah.
If you're in a business and you got to keep a watch on what everyone else in your industry is doing because they're trying to steal your customers all the time.
Yeah.
So you got to up your game.
Agreed. A monopoly is never healthy.
It's never healthy. Exactly right.
Yeah.
So in South Africa, for the last 30 years, we've had a political monopoly. And now it looks like that time might be over. That's very exciting, don't you
It
think?
is, and that is why. So one thing, there's a few rules that you must never break in content creation if you want to maintain a clean profile. Is never talk about religion, never talk about politics, and I broke one of that rules. So I'll never talk about religion in a derogatory way. I will always declare my faith. It's not a problem for me. But I touched on politics because I realized how important this election is.
Correct.
We are effectively on life support. We cannot
country.
survive another 5 years in the state that we are
Totally agree,
in.
man.
It's like the country has cancer, and we need to stop the cancer and start reversing it.
And it needs chemotherapy,
Oh, 100%.
which is rough. It's not always pleasant, but
Yeah.
it needs it.
But we cannot be. I think it's almost like, if you want to go with a cancer example, it's almost as if you've been diagnosed, but you're in denial. You don't want to accept it, because you're thinking of holistic healing, and you're thinking, yeah. And
No,
you,
if I just have a buchu smoothie.
yes, oh yes. And you know, my grandmother said that I should chew those leaves. And you know what? You need to actually realize that, you know, your grandma's advice was cool, but not in this case. So
I mean, you can also have that smoothie,
yeah,
but you need proper therapy.
100%.
That's where South Africa's at, people.
Yes, I think further to that,
We've got some roadworks,
I
everyone,
see,
because the
yeah.
city works for you.
the city works. I see the roadworks. Yeah,
You see what I did there?
yeah, I love it.
What are these guys doing? They're fixing the street lights? What? Yeah, we got street light work happening
Yeah.
here. Fixing street lights, everyone.
Here we go. So yeah, I think you know what I think it is. It's like that one friend that used to be, he was good to you when you were younger, and now that friend is stealing your money. That friend is damaging your car when he borrows it, and all you do now is running on the memory of, he was good to me when I was in need.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the current political
great
party
analogy.
is. We got good memories. I mean, they were good to us, but now they're starting to steal our stuff, and they're starting to break the things, and we can't run off that memory anymore. That nostalgia, that euphoria, that memory is exactly what it is, and we'll remember them for that. But no, man, uncle, you can't come into the house anymore. You steal now. You must retire.
And you can see what's happening now if you look at all the TV ads. It's all about talking about 30 years ago. It's talking about that memory, that nostalgia. It's
you
not
know,
talking about the problems that we face now. How
but
do we get rid of the cancer now?
that has been the narrative for a while. Oh, but you know, I got you out of the tight spot 30 years ago. And you know, funny enough, I haven't seen any of the ads. You know why? Because I don't watch TV at all. My TV doesn't have an aerial, and DSTV has become so expensive.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, I cancelled it a couple of years ago. Already.
100%.
It's I just miss the rugby and the sports, but
For sure. Yeah.
that's how it is.
Yeah, but the point is that I get my. If I didn't see it on TikTok, I didn't see it. It's
So
crazy.
if Supersport, if you can please start a paid TikTok channel where we can just watch rugby, that would be a great idea.
Yeah.
I would sign up for that.
100%.
I don't need to watch BBC
Because
and all the other
if
junk.
there's one thing that unites us as a country, a sport.
100%. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
definitely sport. In fact, if our sports teams are winning, then our country is doing okay.
And there's actually an amazing story, because right now, this is, I'm sure I can say, this is what is the date? It's the 11th or the 12th
The
today?
11th of the 5th.
11th today. So actually it's Mother's Day tomorrow. I'll get back to the rugby story
Yes.
now, but we must say Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers in
Yes,
Cape
happy
Town.
Mother's Day.
Thank you for doing an amazing job, all the moms.
Couldn't do it without you guys.
And let me say, it's also International Nurses Day. The 12th of May is World Nurses Day, and my own mom is a nurse.
Wow.
So it's Mother's Day and Nurses Day, and she raised me as a single mom, and she worked as a nurse. For some of that time, she worked night duty to make extra cash.
Yeah.
And so I know how hard nurses work, and I want to say to all the City of Cape Town nurses who work at our 97 clinics around the city, thank you so much for being wonderful, wonderful nurses, for the care that you give to millions of Cape Townians in our clinics. thank you very much for that, and we really appreciate nurses. Nurses work really hard.
100%, yes, yes.
They graft, eh? They
Yeah.
graft. It's a tough,
No, for
tough
sure,
job.
and it's in many cases a thankless job.
It is.
Because people only come to you when you're sick,
Yeah.
and then when they're healthy, they leave.
So we value and appreciate our City of Cape Town nurses, and all nurses.
Yes.
All nurses. Well done, and thank you, and happy Nurses Day. Now back to
Yeah.
my rugby point.
Yeah.
I saw this morning the World Rugby has banned taking a scrum off a mark, off a free
Yeah.
kick inside your own 22. Now, of course, we had that amazing
Yes, that wouldn't.
moment in
Yes.
the famous moment in the
Yeah.
World Cup where the Springboks showed real guts taking a scrum off the mark, and
Yeah.
now World Rugby has gone and banned
Taken
it.
that away.
They just hate the Springboks. They can't.
think,
they can't come to terms with the fact that we're the world champions.
But everybody hates a winner. That's why we're getting such a lot of heat from the National Credit Council.
You saw what he did there. You saw
Yeah.
what he did there.
Yeah. The damn National Credit Council.
That's it, yeah. I've seen you've courted controversy the last few weeks.
I have, shamelessly, and
Yeah.
I've enjoyed every minute of it. I actually have an appointment with a certain individual on the 30th of June
Oh,
to reignite our love affair.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
he said he's going to dedicate an hour of his day every day until I'm off social media. Good luck. You'll have to
But-
take my logins.
But you know what I've actually loved watching is how I really appreciate the way that you do this, that you back Cape Town businesses on your profile.
Thank you. Yes, that's my goal.
And you know, I've seen some of the great businesses. I've sent the contact details around to some of our networks and
Yeah.
so on. So hopefully it helps and they get more business. But I've also been on a mission the last few months to go and meet great Cape Town businesses, and I've gone to them personally, gone
Yes.
to visit their facilities, their factories,
Sure.
because Cape Town businesses are growing really well.
100%.
And I saw that someone said something like, you know, no one should
Work with
promote
me.
no one should promote their business on your show
Yeah.
or on your
platform.
On your platform. And actually, what's awesome is that you've stuck by promoting lots of Cape Town businesses. And let me tell you, those businesses,
Even after that.
they've got huge reach. They've got huge
Yes,
reach.
yes.
So well done for doing
Thank
that.
you.
I also love supporting local businesses.
Yeah, I think local businesses is the future. I think that self-employment is the future. I think that if you can,
totally agree.
Yeah, if you can create entrepreneurial feel or vibe, and get people to almost accept the fact that they are going to be their own savior. They don't need somebody to come and save them. I think we'll be stepping in the right direction. But if you have people going around saying, I'm going to boycott this business and that business, it cannot be healthy. There's no way that it can be healthy.
Immature and nasty.
Yeah.
So let's move away from
Yes.
those
It's not credit council.
small-minded people.
Yeah.
Dude. What does Uncle Cedric do to relax when you're not doing content? I saw there was I don't know if you've shown the viewers, but there is a gym area at home.
Yes.
The equipment, I must say, still looks new.
It and unused. Yes.
Well, I didn't say that.
Yeah.
I said it looks new.
So if you go,
If you add unused, that's you. That's on
yeah,
you.
that's on me, unfortunately. But like Newton said, energy cannot be created or destroyed.
Only preserved.
Only preserved. Yes.
Love that.
So what I'm doing is that exercise area represents the potential.
You should be in politics, my friend. You should be in politics.
Yeah.
You
So
can spin like a washing machine.
and the fact that I went and bought the exercise machines shows my intentions to use it.
Yeah.
So I've got potential and I've got intent. All I need to do is put it into action.
I love that. You see, this is like a whole manifesto that he's got. For this.
And funny enough, that means that I have a manifesto,
A manifesto.
and some people don't.
Yeah.
Even if you click on it on the website, there's nothing. It takes you to nowhere.
So, what's just to go back to the relaxing? What is it?
Oh,
how do you? What's the downtime?
You know what? I totally enjoy spending time with my family. As a man, I'm able to think about nothing. A lot of women don't understand that. that men can sit and think about nothing. and I think I've got that down to an art. But lately I've been very, very busy with work. I've got a day job with my studies. I'm busy completing my degree in supply chain management.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's
Amazing.
hectic.
Congrats,
And
man.
then I've got my family stuff. So downtime for me is just sitting quietly and consuming TikTok.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah.
And congrats on your degree.
Thanks.
That
Yes,
is
I've got a
amazing.
couple more weeks to go.
So what's it? It's in
Supply chain management.
supply chain management.
Yeah, supply chain management. So that's the industry that I'm in.
Yeah.
In logistics and supply chain management. So I wanted to get a formal education. Also, I realized that in order for me to go to the next level, I needed to put in some work. I couldn't wait
That's
for
so cool.
someone else. Yeah.
And when will you graduate?
So if all goes well, I'm busy with my finals now. I've got 2 more subjects to go, and then I'm graduating.
Wow.
So I'm considering doing my honors. So let's see if there's a budget, and yeah, onwards and upwards, man.
You know, when my daughter was born, I was busy studying as well.
Okay.
Also part-time studying.
Yeah.
And I had a day job, obviously, and the time that I could carve out was from like 5 to 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
I would get a good hour and a half of studies done.
Yes.
And people who don't study, have never studied part-time, don't know it's really tough to carve out time, eh? And
Yes.
when you've got a busy family life, you got a job.
100%.
To carve out time, it's like, I think, harder than studying full-time.
I think so.
It's really tough to carve out that time.
Yeah. Like I told my son, I said the extra time you're looking for in the day is at the beginning of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't try and find time after work. Don't try and find time at night. The extra time that you're looking for,
It's always at the beginning.
it's at the beginning. So if you wake up at 6, that extra 2 hours you're looking for in the morning is actually between 4 and 6.
And I've got such lovely memories of sitting at the dining room table with my textbooks, studying with my brand new little daughter on my knee,
Oh
trying
yeah.
to get her, fed, or try and get her back to
Yes,
sleep. or
yes,
something
because
like
life
that.
still happens, right?
Life happens,
Yeah.
but actually, those are wonderful memories.
Oh,
Those are
yes.
wonderful memories. I'll
Oh,
never
yes.
forget that.
And I have this, I don't know if it's a theory, but with everything in life, it's about how much you want it. If the pen is not hot enough, so I always say, if your situation is not grave enough, you're not motivated to move. But it's also same like if you're in a relationship and you're wondering why this guy's not calling you, it's because you don't mean enough to him. It is what it is.
Simple as that.
If he wanted you, you'd be making contact. If you want something enough, you will do what you need to do to get it. And that's the reason I don't have muscles, by the way.
Because I don't suffer from body dysmorphia.
I don't.
No.
My confidence is actually so high
Yeah.
that I
But
know
it's
that
actually a problem.
It's a problem, yeah.
And my
It is a-
wife is super disciplined with gym. Super
Wow.
disciplined. And I always think I always look at her with such admiration because
Yes.
we will, we'll go out for dinner, we'll have a glass of wine, and the next morning at 5:00 she's up early, she's
I
going
used
to
to have
gym.
that motivation.
Hear the door closing and I'm still
Yes.
sleeping.
Ah,
And she's super motivated, and the reason she's motivated is exactly what you say, because she
wants it.
in her mind
Yeah.
she believes that she does not yet look the way that
She's not there yet.
She's not there yet.
100%.
Yeah. And so she works harder.
Yes, and you chase the thing that you want the most.
Whereas I don't have that sense of discomfort, and maybe I need that actually.
Somebody needs to tell us that we're ugly. Somebody needs to tell
Someone's
us.
going to tell us that.
Oh
now.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
that-
yeah. Oh yeah.
I
yeah.
can think of a few
That's
people
why I
who
got
might-
this yellow outfit on. Somebody's gonna tell me I look like a banana.
I didn't want to raise the colors, but now that you've
Yeah.
taken us there,
Mm-hmm.
because it is close to the election
It
and
is.
anything. But anyway, I'm going to move on.
Yeah,
So
please do. Please do.
just
But
gonna-
funny enough, the last time we spoke, I also wore yellow. So yellow is now my lucky color.
Are you trying to say something to me? Are you actually? You're a friend of Fakila and Balula.
I'm not actually. I'm not. I don't hang with old people, and I also don't hang with thieves.
Wow.
I also
There
don't
you
hang
go.
with thieves. So it is what it is.
So
Yeah.
I'm sure that at least 50 people are going to tell us in the comment that we need to work out more. Thank you for
Oh,
that.
100%.
bud.
Thank you. Yeah.
let's see.
But yeah, if you want it enough, then you will go for it. Or else you wouldn't go for it at all.
So what does the rest of the day hold for you?
My oldest one is off today because he works part-time. He's off, he's spending time with his girlfriend. The middle one is finishing off his second rugby game now.
Okay.
And then
I'm
I've
sorry
got
to keep your wife.
No, don't worry. My wife is there representing. And then I've got a rally I'm gonna go to later. So it's a DA thing. I don't know if you heard of it. It's a small political party. They don't have a lot of influence. They call the DA.
Yes.
So I'm meeting with one of the representatives from my area. I want to actually become a bit more active now that you've awoken the dragon. I'm not gonna stop until I destroy you. That's my manifesto. It's gonna be
No, that's not you.
No, it's not me. Eh?
That's not you. But it was nice. Like I remember as a child in winter, when you couldn't hang up the washing outside.
Yes, you had to wring it out.
You had to wring it out over the bath.
Yes.
Especially the towels and the blankets, because that carries a lot of water, you know.
Yes.
And you would just go tighter until that water comes out. And I feel like that's what I've been watching.
Yes, wringing out dirty laundry. Can you imagine? National Credit Commission. I'm gonna stop.
Okay.